leakage due to the days. We're hiding the court, the diamond in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they work in your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
By the way, Jay, you're muted. I hope you know.
Man,
we're off to a good start.
Yes, man. My screen actually died on me, so I had to go back and reset. That's why it looks all funky. Hold on 1 second, though. We will have this production up and running. I promise you, folks. I promise you, we
will get it going. Hope you don't roast us too hard. Be gentle.
All right, here we go, man. So
there we go.
No. Dang, go, Logan. Why am I struggling?
We just had it. What happened?
I don't know. It kind of did something weird. It was like it came up and then it didn't come up. Minor technical difficulties. Hold on 1 second.
I'm about to say, while Jay figures that out, hello, everyone. Welcome to our Thursday night episode of Unscripted, live here on Facebook at Unscripted and live on the ASAP All Sports All Plays Network. Check out all of their amazing shows. I've got plenty of them, and so there's always going to be something for you to like. Betting, any and every type of sport. Go over there, like, comment, share, subscribe. Check out the Instagram, check out the TikTok, check out Twitter, and any other social media you can think of, Jay. Maybe they're still doing MySpace. I'm not sure if that's still around. Maybe they're on Tumblr. But, ASAP is everywhere, man. And, we're happy to be a part of the network. And we got a lot of good content for you today. I'm your co-analyst, Logan Landers, and our host and producer tonight, Jay McLovin. I think you got everything in control. Looking good there, buddy.
Did it finally click in?
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
It's not click in.
Yep, I can see it. Oh, well, we've lost Jay, everyone. And the production issues continue. Here he is. Wow, this is going swimmingly, Jay.
Bro,
I love this.
You would not believe how weird this computer system is acting for me right now. It's just everything went left or right. But is everything good? Can everybody see everything okay?
I can see everything fine. Jay's hamster wheel of a computer is barely cracking it. So we'll make a GoFundMe, Jay, and we'll raise some dollars to get you a brand new laptop. How about that?
Man, hey, listen, I'm doing what I can. Did it just go off again?
It did, unfortunately.
Well, I don't understand this. It does not make sense to me. I hit share screen. Mm-hmm. I hit Chrome tab. Yeah. I hit BAM.
See, we're giving you guys the ins and outs of the production world here. These are top tier secrets that not many people have.
How am I looking now?
I can see Albert Pujols on the screen. So
then we're good. Okay, I'm not going to mess with it anymore. I've done all that I can do. Let's talk about some. You know what? Before we get started, I want to talk about a couple of things. I want to do a little quick round the horn if we can, Logan.
I'm about to say it's going to be a quick horn with just two people. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's going to be a quick round the horn. So Wagner just signed a 5-year, $50 million contract with the Rams. And I want to kind of bring this up because we didn't put it in our slides because it just kind of happened, and I want to kind of touch on a little bit. So the Rams, in my opinion, now are really starting to ramp up, right? I mean, they're ramping up pretty good. They lost Von Miller due to free agency. He went off and joined with the Buffalo Bills. And then we get Albert Pujols, who's now – excuse me, I'm seeing Albert on the screen. And then we get Billy Wagner, who comes in and takes in the spot at the outside linebacker spot. And now I think this kind of puts that defense back into contention. How do you feel about Wagner in this signing, man?
I mean, there's a reason that they're the Super Bowl defending champs. Obviously, they're going to be destination number one. Bobby Wagner was really kind of the only – I can't think off the top of my head, but he was one of the kind of big names left out in the free agency pool We all saw a few weeks ago, right, with all the chaos going on, Jacksonville signing everyone, all the big moves that were made. And Wagner was just he got kind of left off the board. But, I mean, I think it fits in fine, Jay. I mean, the Rams have a great offense, obviously. Their defense is pretty good, too. They needed someone to help replace Von Miller. They're not going to get that in terms of sacks with Wagner, but they are going to get a veteran, someone who's been around for a long time, and a solid player for their defense. So I like the move, and there's a reason. Like I said, there's a reason they're the champs, and they have that window, Jay, of dominance, and they're going for it again, ramping up, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is going to put, if I look at the terms of the division, I think people are going to sleep on this Raiders team. With Devontae Adams teaming up with Carr, his old college playing buddy, and then you got Waller in there, and then you got Josh Jacobs in the backfield, and then you got a pretty good defense, and they just signed what's that one guy on the defense? They just Mason Crosby.
Yeah, they gave him an extension.
Man, I'm telling you right now, man, people are going to sleep on this Raiders team, and they're going to invite some people.
I saw a quote, Jay, from broadcaster Chris Collinsworth. And he said, I think he said there's 13 teams that can make the playoffs this year in the AFC. And I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, there is a legitimate shot that all of the teams in the AFC West division could make the playoffs, because I don't see any of them having a losing record with just how much every team has improved. I feel bad for, the bottom of the barrel in the AFC East, right? Or the AFC, just AFC in general, because I mean, now there's going to be really no tough games at all. It's a tough division, and I think probably the best division or in the best conference with the AFC and the NFC. I think the AFC has them beat in terms of just star power and team wise. So I think the AFC is going to be fun to watch this year.
And I'm telling you, in terms of I think the toughest games this year are going to be those AFC West divisional games.
Those are going to be fun to watch, man. I'm curious to see when the television schedule comes out, just how many of those are going to be on CBS, on Fox, on all of those. Because, I mean, they already showed a decent amount, right? They would always show at least the Chiefs game or the Raiders game. But, I mean, now, especially with how good the Chargers have been the last 2 years and how much the Broncos have improved, I mean, we're going to be seeing a lot of the West this upcoming year, I think.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. And I look at other things. I'm going to kind of switch over kind of get away from football just for a second. This is some of the other highlights that I kind of saw.
Yeah.
Or I was thinking about, the Phoenix Suns. I just want to kind of touch. We'll get more of them, as a week goes along, or maybe even next week we'll talk more about it as we get ready to go into playoff season. So we'll dive more deeper into it. But my question to you is, and this is what we talked about on a couple other shows, is Chris Paul typically – he gets tired. His body gets tired after they play him too much. He starts getting these small, little injuries. He got it in the playoffs last year. The Phoenix Suns have secured the best record in the entire NBA. They secured it. Do you think with these last 6 games, I don't think they necessarily stop playing Chris Paul, but do you think they should start maybe cutting his minutes back just a little bit? Instead of playing him like 30 minutes, maybe playing like 20 minutes or 18 minutes, just until we ramp up into the playoffs, just to kind of keep him a little bit more fresher?
Not just Chris Paul. I think they should do with all their main guys, him, Booker, Ayton, etc. Just because you are a top seed, you're going to be playing in meaningless games now. You're already the best team in the league.
Right.
And, I mean, there's not enough games to change that. So I don't know if I would rest them every single day, every single game. Definitely towards the latter half of the season, right? Maybe the last week for sure.
Right.
Just because you don't want them to be playing in a useless game against the Portland Trailblazers or some, just team that isn't going to do nothing this year. And for one of your guys to tear his Achilles, you just don't want that. So I would think, I think they're going to start cutting their minutes down. Probably, I would hope soon, because there's about 10 to 15 games left in the season. I'm not too sure off the top of my head, but I know it's around that marker. So start cutting them down. And I mean, Jay, they are looking like the favorites to win it all. They have steamrolled everybody. They are a solid team. Let's not forget, Chris Paul was hurt for a good bit too, and they carried on they carried on fine. So as long as he can stay healthy, as long as Booker, Ayton, all of those guys, as long as they can stay healthy and looking good, I mean, Phoenix has a great shot of going very deep in the NBA playoffs.
Right, and then I want to switch gears real fast to the Memphis Grizzlies. They have secured the number 2 spot right now behind Phoenix. Do you think that Memphis is going to pull the spoiler alert on what should be the year for the Phoenix Suns to get the crown?
They very well could, just depending on how the brackets line up. I mean, these two could definitely be the ones in the Western Conference Finals. It would not surprise me. As good as Memphis has been this year, as electric as they've been. And the scary part too, Jay, is Memphis is super young. So, I mean, this could be a team that could be a 1 seed next year. It wouldn't surprise me. This could be a team that could be a top 5 team in the West for the next 5 years, and it wouldn't surprise me. So I definitely think that Memphis has the best chance out of all the teams in the West for sure. Maybe Dallas, because Dallas has looked hot lately. But I think that Memphis, obviously, with Ja, Dylan Brooks, and all them, that they do have, like you mentioned, the best chance to play spoiler and knock off the Suns potentially in the Western Conference Finals. I could definitely see them having some good times there. But the only thing, Jay, that everyone's going to talk about is Memphis doesn't really have that playoff experience like Phoenix had last year. I mean, Phoenix was close to winning the finals, and they have that hunger to get back and to finish the job this time. Memphis, they're super young, and they've never been that far in the playoffs in a long time. I don't remember the last time they went to the Western Conference Finals, but they have a lot to prove. And I think Memphis can afford, if they do get knocked out this year in the conference finals or beforehand, they're fine. They have enough time to get back, and they have plenty of time. As long as they can keep everyone around, they'll be fine. So I just looked. The last time they were in the Western Conference Finals, Jay, was 2013. It looks like where they lost to the San Antonio Spurs. So it's been about 10 years.
It's been a hot minute. It really, honestly, has been a hot minute. And one thing I was going to say was I think this Phoenix Suns team and what I think is going to be a little bit different than last year is they really improved their depth at the center spot. In other words, I think they've really added a lot more size. They didn't really have size. I mean, they had Ayton, but when Ayton got in trouble, they really had nobody to come in behind Ayton off the bench and really help him out. And I think this year with JaVale McGee and Bismack Biyombo, between those two guys, I think it's going to be the difference maker of the Phoenix Suns being able to compete against the Joel Embiids and the Giannis Antetokounmpos, and I always say his name wrong, but the Giannis of the world. Right. And then I think Memphis is just kind of lacking that size right now. And I think that's the only downside to Memphis. You know what I'm saying? But speaking of size, right? I look at another team like Utah, right? And like I said, next week I really want to kind of dive into this a little bit more in depth. This is just a quick
We'll go more in depth on Tuesday.
But with Utah, I feel like Gobert is a great rebounder, but he doesn't really add that 1-2. Every team has that 1-2 punch, right? Now you're looking at two superstar team, 3 superstar. Gobert gets you a lot of rebounds, but he does not score you the points that you need at a 1-2 punch level. And I think that's where Utah is lacking right now in terms of being able to get past, just being maybe a mid-range number 4 seed type team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. And I mean, Gobert's never really been one for scoring points. He's always been that defensive presence. But I mean, that's what we've seen with Utah in recent years is they'll do fine in the regular season. They're always in the playoffs, but they just can't get over the hump. And I mean, I don't think they've improved a whole lot. I know that, Clarkson on the bench is doing really good, but he did the same thing last year.
But he comes in as a 6 man. That's what hurt you.
Right. And I mean, like I said, that's the exact same scenario they're in last year. They didn't really get many pieces to get they don't have that other guy, right?
Right.
Because I always go back to the Heat. You have those 3 guys. They don't have to be superstars or whatever, but those 3 guys you can really look for. But you got Mitchell, you got Gobert, and then, I mean, who would be the third man on Utah, Jay? Who do you think would be that third guy that you trust with the game on the line that you can give the ball to, like a Steve Kerr or someone like a Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, whoever?
I mean, outside of Clarkson, the only other guy that I would probably maybe count on would be Rudy Gay. And Rudy Gay's got some age on him. But he's really, but looking at that lineup,
there's no one. I mean, I'm looking at the lineup, right? I mean, they've got Clarkson, who's a backup. Royce O'Neal, I don't trust him as a third option. Conley's a backup, right? Bogdanovich, and then Gobert, Whiteside, and then you get a bunch of guys who are super young.
Right.
But I mean, they don't have that other punch, Jay, like you mentioned. So I think just, kind of wrap this one up. I think the Jazz will do fine in the playoffs. I don't think they'll get to the Western Conference Finals. I can see them getting to the semifinals for sure. I think they'll get out of that first round. But depending on whoever they face, it's going to be a tough matchup for them, just because I think they need to do something big in the offseason and maybe get rid of some younger guys they have, some of the ones that aren't going to play anytime, because they don't have that deep bench either. So they need to get a little bit more help. But I do think they'll get out of the first round for sure, and then probably get knocked out in the semifinals again.
So I think next week, obviously we'll revisit the Suns again. We'll talk about Memphis and all the other teams in terms of, how we think they're going to do in the playoffs before we get into the playoffs and what our thought process is on those teams. And then with Utah, I want to kind of go into who could be another replacement. What should they do about that 1-2 punch, and where do they go from here to actually be competitive along with the other teams? But for now, let's talk about a little bit Albert Pujols. So Albert Pujols, as you know, started his career and had the majority of that 11-year career with St. Louis, which is the majority of where he spent it, obviously. And he's got a couple of World Series rings out of it. He started with St. Louis. Then he kind of he got on with Anaheim Angels. Then he got on with, I think, the Dodgers for a little bit. And then now he has returned back to home. And I don't know if there's any other teams I missed in between there, but now he's back home with the St. Louis Cardinals, where he says, this is it for me, folks. I am done. When I finish my tenure here, however long, I think he signed a 1 year, $2.5 million.
Yeah, not much.
And I think this is going to be his farewell song. I think that's kind of where he went. I think that's why he went to St. Louis. I think he wanted to be 1 year as a designated hitter, and he'll just kind of ride off in the sunset. I think after this year, he's already got every accolade that he really needs.
He's already a Hall of Famer, bar none.
Oh yeah, he's absolutely a Hall of Famer, and I don't really think there's anything else he can do at this point that he hasn't already done. So I think this is kind of a nice send off and him to rejoin his old team, Yadier Molina, and things like that, to see his old guys and call it a day.
Yeah, I mean, my God, Albert Pujols, right? What a phenomenal player. We get one more season with him, Jay. He's been around since 2001. This is going to be his 21st season. You barely see that. You see it with pitchers, but you don't see it so much with position players much anymore, playing that long.
Right.
So it's gonna be a farewell season. Also, let's not forget too, Jay, this is gonna be Yadier Molina's final season, it looks like too. And also, I'm gonna throw another name in there, another longtime Cardinal. This probably be Adam Wainwright's last season as well.
That's right. Wainwright was the other one that was with Pujols when it was during that tenure.
They've all been around for quite a long time, 15 plus years. So I could definitely see this would be going to be the final year for all three of them, and just kind of a sad end for Cardinals fans for that era they had in the mid 2000s onward to the early 2010s when they won those championships and were dominant. So I think all three of them will retire at the end of the season. Yadier's already said he would. Wainwright hasn't, but I would think with both these guys going out, he might as well just go with them, right? I mean, he's still good, but I think that it would just be kind of the best send-off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, my God, Albert Pujols, three-time MVP, 10-time All-Star, batting titles, player, Rookie of the Year, Silver Sluggers. I mean, he's done everything, Jay. And on top of that, the numbers. My God, this guy has put up a ton of numbers in his career. Currently, 679 home runs. I don't think he's going to get to that 700 plateau. Man, if injuries and just father time didn't catch up with him, I think he would have. But man, that's a ton of home runs. That's fifth all time, I believe, behind Alex Rodriguez. RBIs, he has 20. Or let me see, RBIs, he has 2,150, which is great. Walks 1,345, and a career batting average so far of 297 over 21 years. I mean, that's phenomenal.
That's a long damn time to play the game of baseball.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I get that. In somewhat, he's still played in a lot of games, right? I mean, last year he played in 109. The season before he only played in 39. But I mean, he's played in over 150 games, a good majority of his career. Even with the Angels, I know his numbers started to dip when he went there, but I mean, this guy was a great baseball player, one of the best, if not the best, players in the 2000s. And we get one more run at seeing him, and it's going to be bittersweet, man, because we're going to lose a legend in the game. But hopefully he can hit some home runs this year. It's going to be a good year for the machine.
And honestly, the universal DH coming to the National League really, I think, gave the opportunity to be able to ride off into the sunset with them.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's the perfect scenario. He doesn't need to play first base anymore in his 40s, and he can play DH, just chill for 90% of the game, go out there, swing 2 or 3 times, and call it a day. Not bad.
Not a bad day's work for $2.5 million for 1 year. I would love to have that type of career where I can still make $2.5 million and I'm in my 40s.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're gonna talk real quick about Lamar Jackson and his unsigned contract still with the Baltimore Ravens, even though he says he wants to be a Raven, and he says, please get that terrible narrative that's out there floating around about him that he's possibly leaving. He said, get that narrative out of their mouths, and that's not true. But I do think, like what Bassetti is saying, or I think it's Biscotti. I think his name is Biscotti. Yeah, is saying about Watson's 100%, $230 million guaranteed contract really has a ripple effect, which is I think going to hurt the owners in terms of potential deals with these quarterbacks going into the future. Because I mean, now everybody's going to want. Now that Watson got his guaranteed $230 million contract, now everybody's going to want a guaranteed contract. And I tell you, Jackson is his own agent. For those who don't know, he represents himself. And I guarantee you, he's going to want a fully guaranteed contract. And I guarantee it's going to be around that $230 million range. Mm-hmm. And, and look, this is the game of football, man. It's a business like everything else. And everything always evolves. These guys make astronomical monies. Now we're talking about astronomical guaranteed monies. And I tell you, a lot of these restructuring and the ability to restructure and a lot of maneuverabilities of these contracts, once they start getting fully guaranteed, that's when you're going to see a lot of restraint on these contracts being given out. What do you think, Logan?
I'm not going to say it screwed up the NFL's way of contracts, but I mean, we never see, honestly, contracts getting fully guaranteed in the NFL before this one. So it's going to be interesting to see what Deshaun or what Lamar can do. And also John Sugg says, I want y'all front and center, #heels. All right. What's going on, John? I mean, I think Lamar, he's done a lot, Jay. Do you think I'm just going to ask this. Do you think he's worth as much as Deshaun Watson?
God, I mean, that's it. And that's the question I've been asking myself. You got to understand, he did get the the NFL MVP award.
Right.
So he has that to his credit. I still kind of wonder about him as a passer because he's always a run-first guy. And so I typically like the passers a little bit more than the run-first type of quarterbacks. So I don't know if I give him the full $230 million. But then again, Deshaun Watson, who hasn't played in a year, comes out and gets $230 million fully guaranteed. So it almost forces you to give Lamar Jackson that type of money.
I mean, I can see this going 3 ways. I could see it going, he gets 250. I could see them matching him at 230, or I could see them giving him 200, but for lesser years. But
you're going to have to come out with the full guarantee in order. He's going to want that. I guarantee he's going to want that.
I mean, because that's the thing, Jay, is it's hard to replace a quarterback in the NFL. It ain't easy.
Oh yeah, it is absolutely.
I mean, Lamar is the best you can do right now. Like you said, he's former MVP and everything. I know the postseason success hasn't been there, but it is what it is. He had been in the league long anyways. Let's not forget, it's not like he's been there for 10 years, right?
Right.
I think he's only been there for maybe 5 at most.
Well, he's just finished. This is the last year of his rookie contract right now that he's in.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, and also John Sugg says he missed the playoffs last year.
Yeah, he did. He sure did.
Yeah. I mean, you got a point, John. But what we're saying is Deshaun Watson didn't even play a snap of football last year, and he got paid all that money, much to the chagrin of a lot of people, But, I mean, that's what, like Jay said earlier, it's a business. And he said, when was the last time the Ravens won a playoff game? In 2020, the Baltimore Ravens beat beat Titans in the wild card. So it's been 2 years. I mean, how is their division looking this year, Jay? I know the Steelers are probably going to be kind of rough around the edges. They've lost, they lost Ben. They've got, they lost Juju. I think the Steelers might be a little rough. Looking at the rest of the the North, right? I mean they might be the favorites, right? I mean, beside the Bengals, obviously, I could see them maybe being the 2 seed in that division. I think Cleveland might take another step back because I mean you never know, man. It's gonna be weird to see how Deshaun can do with Cleveland because he could be great, right? Cleveland could really turn things around, or they could fall off, Jay. You never know. But I mean, it is going to be fun to see these two battle that out a couple times this season. I'm going to be looking forward to those.
Yeah, and let's be honest. I still don't think that the Ravens. I don't think they didn't really improve or do anything special
over the
offseason.
Did they?
They didn't do anything in the offseason. They got J.K. Dobbins as your lead running back with Gus Edwards backing him up.
I mean,
you got Marquise Brown, Bateman, and Duvernay.
Hey, those are all young guys, though. I mean,
and then you got Mark Andrews, who's really his number one wideout is Mark Andrews. That's who he really throws the ball to the most. They didn't really upgrade anything on defense. So I don't know, man. I don't really believe in this team. I don't believe in this team. Maybe they squeeze out a wild card, but I don't know.
I don't see
a wild card.
Yeah, I don't see him going for the division. But I can see a wild card, like John said. The reason the Ravens were so good back in the day, I mean, they had that top tier defense. I mean, Jay, do you remember who was the quarterback, Jay, in Super Bowl in I think 99 or 2000? It was someone it was was it like Trent Green? Was
Trent
that
Dilfer?
Trent Dilfer, I think that was it. Yeah. My God, they won a world championship with him. So. I mean, if you can win a championship with Trent Dilfer, no disrespect, but I mean, he wasn't a top 20 quarterback.
If you can win a Super Bowl with Joe Flacco, no disrespect.
I was about to say, I get Joe Flacco still kicking it with the Jets, but I mean, come on, he was never an elite player. He's always
he was always a game manager.
Yeah,
he was just a guy who just go out there and throw the ball, but don't turn it over a lot. As long as you don't turn the ball over and you can get some short passes, maybe here and there, we're good. Just be the game manager.
And that's what it was. That's what it was.
Because back then it was like, hey, look, let Suggs, let
Lewis,
Ray Lewis go out there and do what they do, and let this defense win us the championship.
Let Ed Reed go out there and knock your head off. I mean, that defense was phenomenal, man. God, I love that defense.
But that was really the mentality of that team back then. And I really kind of think that's almost the mentality of this team here, except they do actually have an athletic quarterback who can halfway throw the ball. I think Lamar Jackson's biggest thing is he has to get better at throwing the deep ball and get better on his timing routes, and I think he'll be fine. But he still has more growth really to do.
And that's what we said. He hasn't hit his peak. He's still super young. And he's got time to grow. So I mean, I don't get all the hate for him. You know, he's still getting into the world of the NFL. He's still young. Give him time.
Taysom Hill. Let's talk about him for a minute. Obviously, they brought Dalton in to back up Jameis.
Do we have to, Jay?
We got to talk about it just a little bit. But they brought him in. They brought in Dalton to back up Jameis Winston. So kind of the quarterback position is a little more solidified now, and they're good at that realm. So now they're going to look at Taysom Hill as being that gadget guy. So now he takes on the role of like almost like a white version of Debo. I hate to say it, but he's not as good as Debo.
I would say the Walmart brand version of Debo.
Yeah, there you go. He's the Dr. Thunder of Debo.
There we go.
but honestly, really, I mean, he's going to be the gadget guy. They're going to line him up at wideout. They're going to line him up at fullback. They're going to line him up at tight end and any other spot that they can move him around and just get him the ball in all kinds of different Wildcat-version-like ways. And that's why I see Taysom Hill earning that $40 million because now they were paying him $95 million at quarterback, but now they're going to do some salary cutting and only pay him $40 million at the tight end spot.
Oh my God, he fumbled $50 million, Jay.
Yeah.
Whenever he signed that $90 million contract, I thought it was obscene. I thought it was just a robbery because Jay, he hasn't. I get that he's someone you can always put on the field no matter what. But it wasn't like he was putting up magical numbers or nothing. He never was doing that.
Oh, I agree with you. Trust me.
I mean, I applaud the Saints because the Saints are probably not going to be solid this year. I mean, God, the NFC South is going to suck. I mean, the Buccaneers are going to run that division over.
Right.
And I mean, why not try it out, right? You paid him all this money. I get that you're gonna lose $50 million of your $90 million, which is a punch in the gut for Hill, I'm sure. But
I would imagine it would be absolutely.
It was either probably that or get cut off the team or not play, honestly, or traded. I don't know, but I mean, I don't know how much of an impact he's gonna make. Do I think he's probably gonna lead the league in receptions or anything like that? I don't see it, Jay. I mean, because let me see. How tall is Taysom Hill?
He's probably 5'10", maybe.
He's
I don't think he's 6 foot.
Nah, he's 6'2".
Is he 6'2"?
Yeah, he's 6'2". But
Okay.
wonder what the average height for a tight end is, because I doubt it's 6'2".
I'm gonna go 6 foot.
Let me see. Okay,
6'4".
This is just on Wikipedia. Tight end players are around 6'3", 230 pounds. So I mean, he's a little bit shorter, but I don't know. I haven't seen him that much, Jay. So I don't know. I mean, does he have a great vertical? Does he have great hand? I don't know this. I can't.
And again, and that's what I'm saying, Logan. He's not going to be your prototypical tight end. He's going to be a gadget guy. He's the guy that's going to come in, throw some wrinkles out there, keep the defense guessing, so they don't target in on Michael Thomas specifically, or target in on Alvin Kamara specifically. So now you got Taysom Hill, who can do any myriad of a number of things. So every time they put him in motion, which I see him doing a lot of motion, that's going to keep the defense on their toes. And I think that's where Taysom Hill is going to be most effective. They can put him on reverses. I mean, there's all kinds of things they can do with him.
Jay, I've got a nickname for him. And you say he's going to be a gadget guy, the one that gets the fans cheering, the defense is on their toes. You know what we're going to call him on the show officially, Jay?
What are we calling him?
He's not going to be Taysom Hill. He's going to be Brucey.
Brucey! Come on, Brucey!
He's 36. I thought he was younger. I thought he was like 20-something.
No. Taysom's got some age on him.
Oh, okay.
He's not as young as Springtime.
I thought he was a lot younger than that. Jesus Christ. Okay, well then. Brucey, good luck to you this year. And it's Brucey's time to shine. Now we're going to move into these Yankees, Logan. I wish Frankie was here, man.
These wonderful Yankees. Have the Yankees, Logan. And I wish Frankie C was here so I could talk to him.
Yeah, he's at work, though, but he said we will watch it later. So,
because he's probably going to be really irritated with me, and he's probably going to have a handful of things to say tomorrow. But I got to be honest with you, man. I don't think the Yankees did enough. I don't think they did hardly anything at all, to be honest with you. I really don't. I really feel like where they lacked big time is in their rotation. They got Garrett Cole, no doubt about it. Okay, you got Garrett Cole, and I get that. But who do you have behind Garrett Cole taking you the rest of the way? You got an injured and often injured Severino and a couple of other hacks. You really do. They don't have much in the way of their rotation. I mean, once you get past Garrett Cole, what do they really have, Logan?
I mean, they gave up Urshela. I know they got Donaldson, but Donaldson's in his late 30s.
Right. And he gave up Gary Sanchez, which I thought, even though he wasn't putting the bat to it, I thought he did a really good job behind the plate.
And also, just to speak with Donaldson, right? I mean, last year, let me pull up the stats real quick. So in last year in 2021 with Minnesota, he hit 247, and he had how many strikeouts? So he had 114 strikeouts. I mean, that's another 100-plus strikeout guy you getting on TNJ. Get him. Also, Taysom Hill's 31. Okay, so he's a little bit younger. Thank you, John Suggs. Okay, so it's a little bit younger. I feel a lot better about that now. But yeah, so you're getting Judge, who strikes out over 100 times. You're getting Stanton, that's 300 strikeouts between three players right there, Jay. That's a lot. And like you mentioned, looking at their rotation, I'll get it pulled up here. Like you said, they got Cole. Obviously, he's your ace. But then you got I'm trying to see who else, Jay, because there's not that big number two guy that sticks out to me. I mean, you got Severino, Tyon. I'm just trying to look at names here. Montgomery. I mean, and then you got, of course, in the bullpen, you've got Chapman.
Right.
But I mean, I think I'm with you, Jay. I don't trust that rotation. It's kind of iffy. I mean, it's Cole, Montgomery, Severino, Cortez, and Domingo Herman, who I don't think played a good bit. Yeah, he's on the 60-day deal. I think. Didn't he get suspended for some off the field? If I'm not mistaken, John. If you look. Oh, what's up, Chris?
I want to say he did. But
I think he did.
But
Go ahead, look that up, Jay.
Huh?
Actually, okay. Let me see. Yeah, so Herman. Yep, personal life, 20. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, something happened. So he said he's hurt right now with a shoulder injury, anyways. So,
Gonzo, here's the question, man. So we're talking about the Yankees right now, and did they actually do anything over the spring to end this 13-year drought that they have currently going on? Frankie, when you listen to this, I want you to remember that you're in a 13-year drought, and you want to try to blame the Astros because of what?
I'm about to say we'll get into what.
We'll get more into that
after this.
But here's the deal.
Are you talking about 13-year drought, not winning the World Series?
Yes.
But here's the deal, Gonzo. My question is for you. Listen, here's the deal. Me and Logan have been talking about that. Outside of Garrett Cole, they really don't have anybody in the lineup that can back them up. Luis Severino is always hurt. He's hurt right now. Right now, you got to listen to his day-to-day. But the guy is never really truly healthy. You got a Jordan Montgomery. Okay, whatever. But they really don't have anything in their rotation that they really upgraded on. And then the only thing they only did in the offseason was they traded out their first baseman for Rizzo and their shortstop for Falafa.
I'm about to say they didn't make a lot of moves.
They gave Rizzo a pretty big contract too, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Once they found out they couldn't get Freddie, they decided to give Rizzo some money. So,
and if you look at their bullpen,
their
bullpen isn't the strongest either. They got Chapman, but be honest, what has Chapman been the last few years?
He's been iffy. Let's not forget. It's not like
he has been. He's been spotty.
And then they lost a couple of years ago. Kansas, they lost him a while ago too.
You're talking to a guy that was a Chapman fan when he first came into the league because he came in with the Reds
as a starter too. Let's not forget that now.
And he's
guys. I mean,
he's inconsistent. I don't think the Yankees have done enough. And the American League is still. I mean, you're still going to have some good teams over there. And the Rays always seem to have here lately have had the Yankees number, even though they don't have a high payroll.
I don't get this, guys, because the Rays, like I said, they were in the World Series a couple of seasons ago. The Red Sox got a little bit better. The Blue Jays got better. I mean, the Yankees don't seem like a runaway to win that division. I don't see. He said, "Who's done more of the last 2 years? The Red Sox and the Yankees. Now what have they done to be better than the Yankees?"
I think the Boston Red Sox overall lineup is still better than the Yankees. I just got to be honest with you. I don't think that the Yankees lineup right now is better than the Red Sox.
I brought this up to Jay, and I don't know if you're here, Chris, but the Yankees now have three guys who are predictably going to have over 300 strikeouts combined, with Stanton, with Judge, and now with Donaldson. And Rizzo, I'm not too sure. I don't have his numbers pulled up. And also with Gallo, I mean, my God, this team's going to strike out 10 plus times a ball game. And I get that they're, obviously the Bronx Bombers, they hit home runs, all that, yada, yada, yada. But if your bullpen's giving up 6 runs a game, it's going to be hard. So I'm going to say no, they have not done enough to end their World Series drought. I'm sure they'll make the playoffs, but I don't see them winning a World Series with the team they currently have assembled at this moment.
Yeah, and with all those home run hitters, you live and die by the home run. So if them guys aren't hot and hitting them home runs, you're going to struggle because you don't have none of the guys that are just base hit or doubles that can drive in runs, besides just hitting home runs.
Yeah, and also too, I know we brought it up on a previous show, but we don't know who. We're assuming Judge, but whenever they go and face Toronto at home,
we're going to have to leave people back.
They're not going to be playing unless something changes between now and when the season starts in a week. But I mean, they're going to lose those crucial home game, those games against those guys in Toronto. And Toronto's a really good team, a young team too.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that. Let me ask you guys a question. If I had to right now, this is way premature. But if I had to look at the AL or the American League, just American, not the NL, but just the American League by itself, My top 3 teams, and this is in no particular order, but my top 3 teams would be Toronto, it would be Tampa Bay, and it would be Houston. Those are my top 3. Does anybody else have anybody else in that top 3 outside of what I just listed, or do y'all have anybody different in there?
I don't know who I would replace, but if I could add another team, maybe the White Sox, right? The White Sox could do something too.
And I believe Tony, correct me if I'm wrong, Tony La Russa is coaching down there, correct?
Yeah, he's still the manager.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
that's great, man. I mean, I can put the White Sox in. If you want to go 4 teams, I'll put the White Sox in there.
I think the White Sox could make some noise this year.
Yeah, they had a pretty good season last year, too. So
yeah.
And they have a pretty good pitching rotation.
Yes, they do actually have a good pitching rotation. I think with Houston getting, well, he did lose Greinke, but I'm not really so upset about losing Greinke because he wanted a lot of money, and I felt like he was just getting older. I just didn't think his ERA. He had an ERA of like a low 4, and I just didn't think that was really what we needed. I'm glad to see that they're kind of going in a more youthful direction. But we got Verlander back. Now, they're not going to start him opening days. I think they're going to be cautious, easing back into it. But I think Verlander, if he can successfully come off this Tommy John surgery, is a huge addition to this lineup. And I think the Astros, in my opinion, this is way premature. But if I had to say who do I think is going to be in the ALCS, I would put out Tampa and Houston in there. I think Toronto's going to give them a struggle. I think White Sox are going to give them a struggle. But I really think it's Houston and Tampa to fight it out.
Yeah, we'll see how it is. And also, for John, I found the stats about who's done more of the last 2 years, the Red Sox or the Yankees, right? So in the last 2 years, I mean, obviously the COVID season's part of this. The Yankees have had a pretty good season, right? 92-70 last year, 33-27 in 2020. 2020, they lost in the ALDS. 2021, they lost in the wild card. As for the Red Sox, 2020 didn't even make the playoffs, 24-36. Last year went 92-70, so just what was it? Just the exact same record. But the Red Sox went all the way to the ALCS where they lost 4-2. So, I mean, the Red Sox have been better in the last 2 seasons, just to go off what John said. I mean, you know, I don't see the Yankees doing it with this team right now. I think that we're all in agreement. The pitching rotation is in the bullpen, and starting the rotation, it's not up to par with how it is on the field. Because, I mean, let's not kid ourselves. When that offense is going to be clicking on all cylinders, and it will, it's going to be fun to watch, and they're going to put up a lot of runs. But can that rotation come up behind it and support it? It remains to be seen. So we'll see.
I don't feel bad for Yankee fans. 13 years isn't nothing. Hell, my team hasn't won a World Series in over 30 years, so 13 years isn't nothing.
I'm about to say, it ain't looking there soon to get Christmas. And then Jay, we'll speak briefly about what was said with the Astros and the Yankees today. Just that quick soundbite you got to pull up there about what was said. It was something about how Brian Cashman, I think the GM for the Yankees, and a quote it says here. This is the headline. It says Brian Cashman defends New York Yankees amid talks of World Series drought, cites cheating circumstance in 2017 loss against the Astros. It's been 5+ years.
Hey, you know what's funny though? He says that, right? Logan, he says this is what I don't like about Cashman and the Yankees. They say that, but they themselves got caught for electronic sign stealing. So what the hell are we really talking about?
It's been 5 years. If you want to do something, do it on the field. You can't go back and change it. I get you lost the series. I get the Astros did. I get the Astros did something wrong. It is what it is. So what? You can't blame. I don't
want to gloss over this. I don't want to gloss over.
We're not. And I'm just saying you can't blame a 13-year difference or a 13-year play.
No, I'm not even saying that. What I'm saying is
season. You can't do
but
that.
Don't you feel like baseball and the American public has glossed over the fact that the Yankees were caught with electronic sign stealing?
Yes, because they weren't the first team.
I get it.
Everything. That's everything.
I get it, but nobody's really bringing that up. Nobody's really making a big hoopla about it, like they did with the Astros. You know what I'm saying? Now maybe they didn't have enough on the line. Maybe the magnitude of it wasn't as such. But how are you going to chastise the Astros and then have the Yankees get caught, admittedly, sign stealing electronically, and then we don't talk about it. We don't call them cheaters.
But honestly, Jay, the fans kind of chastised Astros, but Major League Baseball didn't do much to that.
I'm not saying about baseball. I'm not saying baseball as a whole. I'm just talking about the players in baseball.
Right.
The players who have been openly, against the Astros. They're not coming out openly against the Yankees. And they're right. Again, the fans aren't doing it either. And I don't get that. Like, is it like why is there so much animosity against the Astros, but they don't put that same animosity? You know what I'm saying? I'm off my soapbox. I just want to put that out there.
I get what you're saying. I think just to wrap it up, I think the only thing is if the Astros would have won a World Series, whatever that year was, then it would have been talked about more. But the Yankees, but they didn't, so it's not going to be as publicized.
I get it, and that's what I'm saying. I think the
magnitude
situation really is what drove it.
That's what it is. But let's keep it going here.
All right, folks. Hey, NFL adds requirements to the Rooney Rule to aid not only minority hiring, but gender hiring. Yeah, did you notice that, Logan? They want more females. They want more females to be hired as coaches as well. So they want more minority hiring. I think what they were talking about, it was in the assistant levels, so that the assistant level could be a bigger pool for the head coaching pool to draw off of. So I think it's supposed to be a feeder system. They want the feeder system of assistant coaches to be more gender equal, and they want more females in there as well as the minority, so they have a bigger pool to choose from going forward at the head coaching. And I get that. And that's great, Rooney. I mean, I get it. But at the same time, I don't think it necessarily changes anything because they can still do the same thing as the Giants did to Flores. I don't think it changes anything. Gonzo? Or Logan, I'm sorry. You can go first.
No, I'm just going to say I'm not going to go too long about this, but I hope it does. I applaud them for adding this to the rule. I feel like they had to do something with everything with Flores, who's suing the NFL still. And I mean, I hope it leads to more minority and female-led coaches on the sidelines. That'd be great to see, just expanding the game even more. Imagine the reach that they're going to have one day you get the first female head coach. That's going to be phenomenal in terms of just the reach it's going to have. But I'm with you, Jay. Who's to say, right? Because it's not up to how they do on the field. It's up to one person. And that's still where the majority white person is, and that's the owners. That's the one who writes the checks. That's the one who says that's going to lead my team. And it's up to them. It's not up to the fans. It's not up to anyone else. It's up to really one person. So I get what you're saying, right? You can add these rules. You can add the requirements to have minorities, have more females on the sidelines, and I love that. But I don't know if we're going to get that big spike, that big increase in minority head coaches in the next couple of years that I think the NFL is looking for. I hope they do. I really do. But I'm not sure. I do have skepticism about it just because, like I said, I think the majority, maybe there's one minority owner in the league. So, I mean, right. Hey, it is what it is, man.
Gonzo, your thoughts, brother?
I like that they're trying to do something, but they're just doing this, honestly, let's be honest, because of the Flores situation, or they wouldn't have changed anything.
Right.
And the only thing I don't like about this is you're mandating, that they have to hire a minority or a woman, but that's fine. But then it has to be for an offensive position.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird. That was weird.
That's weird. Like, what's so specific about the offense and not defense?
They said that because the majority in recent trends, offensive coordinators are more likely to get hired as head coaches than.
Well, that's true. Okay. I can see that.
Yeah, so that's why.
My only thing about that is, what if you have a guy and he deserves it and he's a minority, but he's on the defensive side of the ball, and you already have. That's the only position you have open, but you have to hire a guy for the offense. So in a way, that can also hurt some of their opportunities. Make it where it can be any kind of coach. That way, that opens more opportunities. But this isn't going to change until a couple of these owners pass away and these teams get sold to some minorities. That's the only way this is ever going to change. Because when you have 31 guys that all look the same and one guy that looks different, things are going to be this. Them 31 guys are going to keep running it like they always have because, look, they're billionaires. So to them, why do I need to change? I'm still making money.
Right. I'm rich.
No, that's true though. It's true though. It's true. It's a systemic thing because of that issue.
Until we get younger owners in there, I don't think it's ever going to get to the level it needs to get.
No. The problem is how many young owners have enough money to buy a damn NFL team? I mean, there's a few out there that could probably do it, but
what's going to have to happen is a few of these players, when they retire,
they're going to need to go.
They're going to have to go together,
right? Or get a few more Robert F. Smith.
Create a group and start trying to buy some of these teams.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean that very well could happen because we've never, I mean, I can't think off the top of my head how many former players ended up becoming owners, but I mean, you hear
not
talks about it.
You see that prevalently in the NBA, but not in the NFL.
And you're hearing talks about former players might be, like you said, linking up with billionaires or contractors or invest whatever to go in and be kind of that like assistant owner, right? Not the main guy, but at least put some stake.
Yeah, they take a minority share.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that we're seeing more and more of that trend. But I mean, like Chris said, until we get some more minorities in the main office and in the GMs and in the owners, not much is going to change. Also, John Suggs, he said, were you shocked that Arians retired?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that, Logan. So
yeah.
So John, we put that up there, and John basically said he was talking about, are we shocked about Arians basically stepping down and not continuing to get a few more wins underneath his belt to help push his Hall of Fame career if he was able to capture the Super Bowl or Tom Brady? Here's the deal with that. I'm still not buying it. Bruce Arians said he stepped down because it was time to pass the torch, this, that, and the other. But you know what? He wasn't saying that for whatever weird reason. He wasn't saying that before Tom Brady got there. We were speculating that. I don't know, man. And this is just my personal opinion. Gonzo, I'm going to go with you, and then Logan, you're going to wrap this bad boy up. But in my personal opinion, I feel like it's not just him wanting to pass the torch. I feel like there was an issue between him and Tom. Now, they're not going to come out and tell you that. Nobody's going to come out and tell you that. But it just seems weird to me that Tom comes back, and all of a sudden Bruce is wanting to step down, and Bruce had no intentions of stepping down prior to. So make of it what you will, but I mean, let's be optimistic and let's not just believe everything we hear. I think there was something there between him and Tom, because let's be honest, Tom coming back saved Tampa. Tom doesn't come back. Tampa's looking pretty damn bleak. Tom comes back. Tampa's going to give Tom whatever Tom wants. Tom's going to get, and you can't tell me you think Bruce Arians has more power than Tom. You're freaking fooling yourself. Gonzo, thoughts?
I think Tom coming back had something to do with him retiring, but not for the reason that you're saying.
Okay.
What's the reason I think is because when Tom came back, he knew that Tampa was going to be good again this year. I think he wanted to leave this team to Bowles in a good situation where Bowles has a chance to have a winning season or maybe even go to a Super Bowl, because Arians has been one of the top guys on hiring minorities, and he hired the first female coach. He's always been inclusive. And I think this when Brady came back, that made it to him, hey, we might not be good next year because Brady probably only going to play one more year. I think that's why he stayed with the organization. He didn't just
He's still in the front office.
I think he's wanting Bowles to try to have a chance to have a good year and be a minority coach that goes far, instead of getting stuck in a situation where you're on a team that it don't matter who the coach isn't going to win, and then they only get 1 year and they fire you.
And that's what
I think that had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, and that's why
I can see that, and I could also see that as well. I mean,
that's why I kind of side with. Yeah, that's why I'm kind of siding with what Chris said, Jay, is because it's not like Aaron's just flat out.
You like Chris more than me.
No. And let me just say this: it's not because it's not just he up and retired. He's going to finish out. He's going to have that 1 year in the office. He's going to help out Todd. And I mean, basically, it's going to be 2 head coaches for the price of 1. Let's be real here. So, I think that he is going away. He's going to be 70 whenever in October, so he'll be done for sure. He didn't need to come back to pad his resume for Hall of Fame. No, he didn't need to do all that. He's already got championships, winning record, all that stuff. But yeah, I would hope it would be once he heard that Brady came out and he's going to come for one more hope. I mean, it might be one more year. It might be multiple. You don't know with Tom. I mean, as good as he looked last year, it could be multiple more years. You never know.
You think he's going to Brett Favre a couple more times?
Hey, he's knocking what Brett Favre did out the water. What you mean? But
let's be honest. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's good for football. It's good for minorities getting another shot. Now we have another minority coach. And so it opens up the door for him. And kudos to Tampa to actually facilitating that.
Plus, let's not forget, I mean, Todd Bowles, he was with the Jets in that team. I'm not blaming Todd Bowles for that. The Jets just sucked. I mean, we've seen how good Todd Bowles has been as a defensive coordinator.
That Jets organization starts with the owner.
That's what I'm saying. He went to that job with no chance. He had no chance of succeeding.
He was already shooting himself in the foot. But what did you see once he came over to Tampa and once he took over that defense? I mean, they've had probably a top 5 defense since he's been there, and they probably will again one more time this year. So I like the approach, and this is his kind of redemption story, right? In the head coaching game, he could be here for, I'm not sure how long his contract's for.
5 years.
5 years. So he'll be in Tampa for a little while, and who knows? He might move on somewhere else. He might keep remaining the coach for the Bucs. You just don't know. But I like that. It's not like, I think it's kind of more of a lateral move than it's pretty even, because you're going from Arians, who's a really good coach, and you're going to bowl someone who's been in the locker room, someone who the players know, trust, and like. And now, he just gets a little bit more seniority. Yeah. I think it's going to work out for him. I think, and obviously with the way the NFC South is, I mean, the Bucs already had it easy, and it's going to be even easier.
Biggest difference between Arians and the Bowles, only difference is Arians was known as an offensive guy, and Bowles was known as a defensive guy.
Right. And I mean, plus let's be right here. You don't need an offensive mind with Tom Brady as your quarterback.
You don't need an offensive coordinator.
You don't need one. Your offensive coordinator is on the field wearing number 12.
I'm going to tell you right now, though, real quick, before we move on to this next topic. This is what I want to kind of wrap this up with you guys, and y'all can chime in on this as well.
All right.
Shout out to Ndamukong Suh. Listen, he said you guys are one player light on defense, and he was referring to Jason Pierre-Paul not coming back on a 1 year, and I think also Ndamukong Suh is still as a free agent. So Tampa, listen, you guys still got work to do. You're not right now. There are 3 predicted top teams in the NFC, and that is Tampa, the Rams, and the 49ers.
Yep.
But I'm going to tell you right now, Tampa, you still got work to do, guys. You still got to shore up that defense. You need to bring back Jason Pierre-Paul on a 1 year. Bring back Ndamukong Suh on a 1 year. But you need that run stopper and that pass rusher in order to be able to compete with the likes of the Rams and so forth.
That's where getting Tom Brady back was so important for this year, because you're going to get players like Pierre-Paul and Ndamukong Suh that are later in their career, and they want to get on a team like that, come to the Bucs and play with Brady and have a chance to win another Super Bowl.
And also, let's not forget too, they do have their 27th pick in the draft this upcoming year. So I mean, there's definitely going to be some defensive guys that fall. So they could definitely re-up their secondary, re-up. So the way this draft is set up, they can get someone who saw. You say you're not putting the defense as a top. Jay, you're not putting the defense as a top defense?
We're talking about NFC. We're talking about AFC.
That's a different conference. But I mean, I think the Dolphins. I mean, I love. Look, man, I love their head coach. He's a trip. I like him though. I mean, we'll see how they can do with all the additions.
Dolphins got a hell of a good team. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. The only problem with the damn Dolphins is their field general.
Yeah, well I told Jay. I don't know if you were here, Chris, or not, but I told Jay that this is a proving year for Tua. He's got to show something, and I mean, I would give him a short leash, because I mean, it's not like he's been the worst quarterback in the league. I'm not saying that, but he hasn't lived up to that Alabama moniker, right, where you're supposed to be a star. But we'll see what he can do, because I mean, Bryce Young's coming right behind him in a couple of seasons, and we've seen what he could do. So we'll see. Also, Jay, I did not put the Lions topic in there. It must have got deleted. So we can talk about that real quick with the Lions. They're getting Hard Knocks this upcoming year, and also they're hosting the draft. I don't see it. Yeah, it must have got deleted somewhere. Before we get to the predictions, good job for the Lions. I can't wait to see how that documentary, how Hard Knocks is going to look with Dan Campbell and all them. It's going to be a bunch of guys I don't know, and a bunch of guys who are probably going to be gone in the next month or so. But hey, we'll see what happens. I would like to see the whenever they go into the draft, I like those episodes the most, just because you see the behind the scenes of them calling the players and how they go into scouting guys and if they work out or not. So, shout out to them getting Hard Knocks. It's always been a good thing. I know the Cowboys had it for like half the season or something last year. I'm excited to see it. And then for the draft, I mean, let's say congratulations, you're getting the draft.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Gonzo wrap. I want to wrap this one up, Gonzo. But here, in terms of Detroit, it's freaking Detroit, man.
They need some love, Jay. They need some
Detroit needs a mad amount of love. And let's be honest, there's nothing sexy you can do with Detroit with the draft. It's gonna be a blue collar, blue steel, hardworking man's draft. It's not gonna be Vegas. There's not gonna see a boat going out to the podium with the player to be. You're not gonna see any of that. No. You may see a picture of a steel mill in the background or the Ford plant in the background. I don't know. We'll see what Detroit conjures up. But it's not the sexiest of places to host a draft. But it is what it is.
And it's
in terms of Hard Knocks and in terms of Hard Knocks in Detroit,
that's gonna be fun,
bro. Hard Knocks in Detroit. I mean, really, could you imagine how excited is that really going to be? That's going to be like
that coach is going to be great.
No, I think with Dan Campbell, Jay, I think you're going to see in the locker room the pregame warm-up talks. Those are going to be phenomenal.
Well, it's going to be great with Dan Campbell.
John said, "Can the Lions draft a coach?" Look, man, it ain't the coach's fault. He's been inheriting a bunch of crap. He needs some help.
Yeah, I have said this many a times, and I want to reiterate this: that Detroit is where careers go to die. Careers literally go to die in Detroit.
I do like St. Brown though. He did good last year for the wide receiver core. So shout out Detroit, we love you.
And that's the thing too, man. Like if I'm in Detroit and I know I suck, and I know that my team is so bad, it's so bad that I couldn't even make the top 4 in a college top 4. Okay, I couldn't even crack that. I'm not good enough to even crack the NCAA top 4 for the national title. That's how bad I am. You know what? And all has to talk to Dan Campbell. I mean, you have to give Dan Campbell his at least 3 to 4 years, whatever the case may be. But I'm going to tell you right now, folks, if I'm Detroit and I'm a fan of Detroit, and I know that Brian Flores is just sitting there as offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm going to give Dan Campbell 1 more year to turn this around. Then I put him about 2 to 3 years. That'll put him in a 2 to 3 year window of doing something to make something out of nothing. And if I can't do it, I'm going to give Brian a shot. Because Brian Flores took Miami out of nothing and made him into something. And I think the way he drafts, the way he cultivates, Brian Flores, if anybody's going to turn Detroit around and make them a place where careers don't go to die, most likely it's going to be Brian Flores.
I think Dan Campbell's done a good job since he's gotten there. He just inherited such
it's
a
only
terrible
It's only been 1 year, to be fair. It's only been 1 year.
And but look, if you think about it, where the Lions really messed this all up was when they got rid of Jim Caldwell.
Yeah, Chris, I got the stats here, right? Jim Caldwell was actually the last coach they've had for more than 3 seasons.
What was his record last season?
My time next year rolls around. That's like year 2. You got to figure Brian Flores is going to have at least 2 to 3 years as a coordinator, maybe 2 years as a coordinator in Pittsburgh. So by the time he gets done with his second year as a coordinator, and Campbell by then, that would put Campbell about year 4. And if he doesn't turn that Detroit team around by then, maybe we start looking at Brian Flores and bring him in.
Jim Caldwell went 36-28 career. Then they got Matt Patricia, which that was a train wreck, 13-29. Interim coach Darrell Bevell he coached 5 games, went 1-4. And then Campbell last year went 3-13-1. Also, John, you need to work on your phone, buddy. Eric Bieniemy. I think that's
listen, I'm not a speller, but that's way the hell off.
Yeah, that's you spelled both of them wrong there. Well, we
love you, John Suggs.
Yeah, we do. I get you trying to type the win, but I mean, hey. Also, we'll see how they can do because they did lose Okuda last year for I think the vast majority. I mean, that was a lottery pick for him. And then last year they got who'd they get last year in the they don't remember off the top of their head.
They had Sewell and then they had freaking.
Let me see. Hold on.
I'd have to go back and look to be honest.
Yeah, I'm about to. Okay, yeah. So for last year, they got Penei Sewell last year.
Yeah, they got Penny. Oh, hey, I was right. Give me some props, Logan, when you say that. Penny
there you go, Jay. Okay, so John said he had too many beers. And then
listen, if you didn't figure it out by now, Gonzo, I take my props whenever I can get them.
We know, Jay. But yeah, okay, yeah. Good luck to the Lions on Hard Knocks, and man, that draft is. You're going from Vegas this year, which is going to be. I'm sure it's going to look phenomenal. Then you go to Kansas City, that's going to be pretty solid, and then Detroit. It's going to be cold.
All right, Logan.
They'll probably have a car instead of a boat.
Oh, they're going to have a Ford somewhere in there.
Oh, somewhere easily. All right, Logan, let's go.
Oh, it's time. It's time. It's wrestling time, bro. We got, what is it? We got like 2 or 3 topics here for the WrestleMania this weekend, Jay. Let me get these pulled up here for NXT Stand and Deliver predictions. Keep in mind, all these matches are set because NXT happened, last night or Tuesday. So these are all going to be official. Let me get it pulled up here on a random website. All right, so I think, Chris, you're going to have the advantage here because I don't watch NXT. I know Jay probably doesn't, but I at least know the guys there. All right, so we got a couple matches here going on. We have Tag Team Championships, a 3-way match. You have the Creed Brothers versus MSK versus the champions, Imperium.
Imperial?
Yes, those are the champs. So who do you think will win that one, Chris? I'll let you start so you can kind of give a little bit of background.
Or starting with the tag team.
Yeah, we're going with Imperium versus the Creed Brothers versus MSK.
I like the Creed Brothers in this match.
All right.
Be honest with you, I don't have a whole lot of background in this match because I haven't watched much of the tag teams in NXT.
Okay.
I catch here what I can, but I know the Creed. I've seen the Creed Brothers; they're real good. Imperium's good. This should be a real good match. But I think Imperium. I think them guys. They're getting ready to move them guys up to the main roster. Maybe. So I'm thinking the Creed Brothers are going to take over the titles.
All right. We got some comments here. John Sugg says the Creed Bros will win this match to solidify their Dusty Rhodes Classic tournament victory. All right, Jay, yeah. I'll piggyback off of Chris. I'll go with the Creed Brothers winning and having Imperium. I mean, they might stick around for a little bit more because let's not forget, Chris, that Gunther is down there too, just chilling.
Yep.
So I feel like they're going to stay. I would hope they wouldn't break them up, but you never know.
They got a lot of talent that they need to be moving up.
I'm about to say there's too much young. Well, I don't know if I'd say young, but there's a lot of fresh talent, we'll say, that's down at NXT that needs a look on the main roster. It's getting kind of stale. So I'll go with the Creed Brothers winning the tag team titles. Jay, who do you got? Imperium retaining, the Creed Brothers, or MSK?
I listened to the storyline of what he said about Imperium and Creed, and you know what? I like to think sometimes we want to go a different direction, and I'm going to go MSK in this one.
Okay, all right. Jay with the wild
card. I'm going MSK in this one.
So either way, all three of us are predicting a new champ. All right, like to see it. All right, let's keep it going. Speaking of Gunther, he has a match with LA Knight. So, Chris, who do you got? Gunther, whatever his name is, or LA Knight?
I want to see Gunther win because I don't see them in LA Knight's hot right now. So I think LA Knight's going to win this match. LA Knight's probably one of the hotter stars they have on NXT right now. So, and I don't think they're having any plan of moving him up yet. So yeah. I say LA Knight wins this match. I'm
going to go with my boy Gunther. Big fan of him. I don't really care for his name, but I like his style. Big dude, chop the life out of your body. I'm going to go with Gunther getting the win in this one. Jay, who do you got, LA Knight or the big man and Gunther?
I know the big mans and stuff like that, but I'm gonna stick with LA Knight, and I'm gonna hop on the coattails of Gonzo on this one.
All right. Up next, we got Tommaso Champa, and he said this is gonna be his final match in NXT before he gets moved up, versus Tony D'Angelo. Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Tony D'Angelo like a poor ripoff of like a New York gangster?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Like a Italian mobster in a way. Wears the tracksuits and all that. Okay, good to know. At least I wasn't just seeing things on Twitter.
This is probably
So who do you got winning that one, Chris? You got Tommaso winning his final match, or is he going to give it to Tony?
I think Tommaso is going to win. If he had a title on him, then I would say he probably would lose. But since he don't have a title on him, I think he's going to win. He's going to win his last match in NXT.
All right, Jay, what do you think?
I'm a big Tommaso guy. I think he's great in the ring.
All right.
Just because I like mafia guys in tracksuits, I'm going D'Angelo.
Jay, I'm going to find a picture of him real quick so I can send it to you on Facebook because it is the like stereotype bad acting
mafia type guy.
Yes, it's bad. Oh, perfect. Hold on, Jay. I'm going to send you this on Facebook. But while I talk about this one, I think you kind of have to give this one to Champa in a way because, Chris, what does he get from losing this random match and then going to the main roster with zero momentum, kind of? I get they completely forget about what you do in NXT, but I feel like he's been there for like, 5+ years maybe? Yeah. I mean, send him out on a good note, let the fans go home happy that he wins. And I think Tommaso will get the win. And hopefully he does good on the main roster. So we'll see. And also, Jay, that photo, I think it just sent. So check out Tony D'Angelo. He's a beautiful man. All right, up next in the predictions, we have the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. We have the champions, Gigi Dolan and JC Jane versus Raquel Gonzales and Dakota Kai. Chris, are we getting new champs or are Gigi and JC retaining?
We're getting new champs.
Yeah, okay.
I think so. Plus, I'm a man. They need to move that Raquel Gonzales up. I'm a big Raquel Gonzales fan. She beats the hell out of them women like men. I mean, she's big, man. And she's fun to watch. Especially if you like more of the hard hitting style, she's fun to watch. But I'm gonna go with the new champs.
Okay. Also, Jay, I see you look at the picture. What do you think of Tony D'Angelo? What do you think of the look?
Yeah, he's like one of the good fellas.
He really is. All right, Jay, what do you think? We're getting new tag team champs. We got Gigi Dolan and JCJ, the current champs, or will Raquel Gonzales and Dakota Kai dethrone them?
No, I think we keep the same champs, which would be Gigi.
I'm about to say, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think her name is from the rock, I can say rock star, Gigi Allen. I think you just replace some of those, I think. Something like that.
Oh, okay. I'm staying with Gigi. I like the name Gigi.
She's a lot better looking.
Champions. I'm going to stay with him.
She's a lot better looking than what he was, but they're not related in the slightest. It's just names. I'll go with the champs retaining, I guess, because you know what? Screw it. Why not? All right. Let's see here. Keep it moving. We have the NXT North American Championship match. We have Carmelo Hayes, who's the champion, versus Solo Sikoa, versus Grayson Waller, versus Santos Escobar, versus Cameron Grimes. So a 6-person match. Is this a ladder match or is it just a regular match? Do you know, Chris?
I'm not sure.
I would think it would be a ladder match with 6 people.
I'm reading now to try to see if it says on here, but
yeah, I mean that's a lot of people for.
I'll tell you what, with the talent that's in that match, it should be one hell of a match.
Yeah. I mean, I would hope so. Let me keep looking because the website I'm looking at doesn't show, but maybe if I go on a different one. No, it looks like it's just a regular match. All right, so it's a 6-man match. A lot going on here. So who do we think is going to go with this one, Chris? Do you got Carmelo Hayes retaining? Or do you have Santos Escobar, Grayson Waller, Solo Sikoa, or Cameron Grimes getting the win and being a new champ?
Man, this sucks because I like
I'm about to say, we have a bad chance of getting this one right, guys.
Well, it sucks because I like a lot of these guys, like Solo Sikoa.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people might not know, but that's Rikishi's son.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, he's one of the Fatus.
Right.
So I know him from doing some of my independent wrestling stuff because I've got to meet Rikishi and them guys.
But I'm gonna go himself up.
But I'm gonna go with Carmelo Hayes. I think he retains. They should be moving him up. I don't think they're moving him up yet, and I just don't see him taking the title off him because he's hot. But like I love Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes is great. I mean, there's a lot.
He kind of looks like you a little bit. He kind of looks like you a little bit, Chris. You got that same kind. You got that same kind of look as him. Just need you to get like a top hat.
Oh yeah, So I'm gonna go with Hayes.
Okay. All right, Jay. Who do you got between those?
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same way. I'm going Cameron. Well, I'm going different. I'm going Cameron Grimes.
Oh, you're going Grimes? Okay.
I'm gonna go Cameron Grimes. I some reason I just feel that way.
Hey, I wish they would give Grimes a run like that. I think he deserves it, but
I'll go Champ retaining, I guess. I'll go Carmelo Hayes because I have seen a little bit of him. He looks like entertaining, and I'll go with him retaining.
Have you seen any of the Solo Sequoia?
I've seen a little bit, but not like a whole lot.
He's real good as well.
All right, noted. I'll be sure to check it out. Okay, let's see here. I think we only have 2 more matches left here. Let me check real quick. Okay, yes. So we have 2 more matches here for NXT. And this one, we have the NXT Women's Championship Fatal 4-Way match. We have the champion, Mandy Rose, versus Cora Jade versus Io Shirai versus Kay Lee Ray. All right, Chris, we getting a new champ, or is Mandy retaining?
Mandy's going to retain.
Okay.
I think Shirai, always get her name messed up. Io Shirai, something like that. I think that she'll probably be the next one, but I don't think they're going to take the title off Rose yet, because I think her being the champ has kind of been pretty hot so far for NXT, and I don't think they're ready to end it.
All right, Jay, new champ or champ retaining?
Yeah, I'm going Io. Just because Gonzo said that she's going to retain, I'm going to go Io.
You're going to spite him. Okay. I'll go new champ.
Spite him, the Spartans.
Yeah, there we go. I'll go with new champ. I'll go Cora Jade. All right, and finally, the main event, the one we all be looking for, the NXT Championship. Dolph Ziggler, your champion, versus Braun Breaker. So,
Dolph Ziggler.
Wow, Jay already fresh out the box. Okay, Chris, who do you got? New champ, or is Dolph retaining?
I have new champ. I see Breaker winning this match. Ziggler took the title from Breaker. I think Breaker is going to get it back.
All right, I am in agreement with you.
I think Breaker is going to be on the main roster here soon.
Yeah,
there's rumors that he might show up on one of the nights of WrestleMania as well.
Oh, maybe.
Hey, Jay, do you know who Breaker is?
No, but let me ask you one question before you tell me who Breaker is. So is NXT kind of like the farm system for WrestleMania?
Well, not for WrestleMania, but for it was the farm system.
For WWE, I mean.
WWE.
Yeah.
Yeah, so NXT is your farm system to get into WWE.
Kinda.
Okay, I got who's Breaker?
It's
the Rick Steiner from the Steiner Brothers.
Yeah, I remember Rick Steiner.
And we're getting that in a minute.
That's his son.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Yeah, but we'll get to the Hall of Fame in just a sec. That is another topic. I would go with Breaker retaining, or Breaker winning the title back. And because Dolph can lose. Come on. This is their big show. So I got Breaker getting the win and becoming the new champ. All right, Jay, let's keep it moving. What's our next topic?
Yes, sir. There we go. Next topic, as we look at it, would be WrestleMania Night 2 predictions, Logan.
All right, Night 2. Let me see here, make sure everything is looking good. All right, so we got a couple of matches here. We'll go with a newer one that's been added. We have Bobby Lashley versus Omas. This is just announced, I think, this week when Bobby Lashley made his triumphant return and now has a match at Mania. A singles match, nothing on the line, just a regular match. Who will win this one, Jay? Do you have the monster Omas or the jacked up Bobby Lashley?
I feel like Bobby Lashley was robbed of the storyline because of his concussion. So I feel like the WWE is going to work in his favor this go around and write in the script where he will win against Osa.
Okay.
So I'm going with Bobby Lashley.
You got Omas losing.
I got Omas losing. Just because I feel like WWE is going to give it back to Bobby for losing the title to Brock Lesnar when it was really a concussional thing. I don't think he would have lost it had he not had the concussion. I think they would have wrote it in that Bobby Lashley would have retained it.
All right. What do you got, Chris?
I'm going with Omas in this match. This being a late add-on, I think they're going to build up a rivalry between these two. So I see Omas getting this win and then they're building up another match for the next pay-per-view. I think they just wanted to get Lashley on the card. He was just come back off an injury. And Omas has been hot here as of late. He's starting to gain some momentum.
Is he undefeated, by the way? Has he ever been pinned?
No.
Oh, there you go.
So I think this was a good way to help build Omas up as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, if they had them two standing in the ring Monday night together, and Omas makes Lashley look small.
That's a good point.
Yeah, Lashley's a big dude, but Omas, oh my good Lord.
I can see this one kind of going two ways. I could see Omas winning, getting that momentum. Or I could kind of see it in like a double disqualification to where they're both on the outside beating the tar out of each other, and they both just fight so much they can't get back in the ring. And then, like Chris said, they build up to the next pay-per-view. So I could see that, but I'll go with Omas just because he hasn't been beaten. He's undefeated. And we'll see how the match is. Because I know Omas is obviously limited because he is a giant. He's not the most athletically gifted. But I mean, like I said, Bobby's former champion, really good wrestler. So we'll see what he does. I'll go with Omas. Or my other prediction is a count out or disqualification. All right. A match that was added the night one that we didn't get to, but we'll go ahead and cover it now. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods versus Sheamus and Rich Holland with Butch. That was added the other night.
Butch.
Yeah, I'm about to say Butch. So Jay, who do you got? Do you got the Celtic Warrior Sheamus and Rich Holland with Butch as their manager?
Yes.
Or do you got Kofi and Xavier?
Let's stop right there. I absolutely have Sheamus winning this match. I don't think they take that away from Sheamus. I think Sheamus is going to take it.
All right, getting the win the tag match. Chris, what do you got?
What was this? They just decided they need to add another match, so let's throw something together.
Pretty much, yeah. They threw this one together.
I'm gonna go with Jay. I think Sheamus and
Sheamus and Ridge get the win.
And Ridge and Butch.
I'll go.
I still don't understand why they changed his name, though.
Butch. I don't know, man. Butch is pretty intimidating. I'll go. I like to be different. I'll go with. And also keep in mind, everyone, these are not our official predictions. Our official predictions will be Saturday, where we're actually going to keep tallies of all this. So that's when we see who's going to be the first unscripted world champ. We'll do that for all the pay-per-views and everything. But I'll go with Xavier and Kofi, since Xavier did just return this past week. So I think they'll kind of ride that for a little bit longer and probably continue this feud that not many people care about, to be honest. But let's keep going back to night two, since that was going to be a night one match. They just added the other week. All right, we have. Let me see. Okay, we have a fatal four-way match for the women's tag team championship. All right, we have Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan versus Natalya and Shayna Baszler versus the champs, Carmella and Queen Zelina. Who will get the win in this one? Chris, I'll let you go first.
I'm gonna go with Sasha Banks and wait a minute.
It's Sasha and Naomi. Those are the that's her.
No, okay, no, I'm going with Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. Them are the two that are together. Them two are together, right?
Yes.
The way this is wrote on here is confusing. It's all ran together. It's hard to tell. I think I'm hoping Ripley and Morgan win this match. I'm a big Rhea Ripley fan, and I'm really not a big fan of this Zelina and Carmella tag team. So I'm going with Ripley.
All right, Jay. Who? Do you got?
You locked me down. Listen, I've already had this in my mind. Rhea Ripley for sure.
I would say we know Jay is a big Rhea Ripley fan.
Man, that's like Sasquatch.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we're getting new champs in this one. I'm gonna agree with you guys. I think Ripley and Morgan, they're the only team that I kind of care about. I think Sasha and Naomi, they're not gonna last long. They'll probably break up and have a feud of their own. I don't care for Natalya and Shayna Baszler, and I really don't care about Carmella and Zelina. So we're all in agreement. New champs, same women. All right. Let me see here. And also, Jay, WrestleMania kickoff is at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for both nights. So that's what time is going to go on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
All right. So we have in this next match for night 2, this in no order, the match that everyone's been looking forward to. Anything goes. Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville. Yes, Jay, you heard that right. The guy from Jackass. Who's going to win this?
Sami Zayn. I'm just going to say it right there. I'm going Sami Zayn.
Chris?
I'm going to say Sami Zayn wins because I don't know how you can have Knoxville have a clean victory over Zayn.
To be fair, it might not be clean, Chris.
I was going to say the only way goes. I was going to say the only way Knoxville wins this match is going to be by somebody coming out and interfering.
I could maybe see this, right? I see, and like I said, I'm not sold on this, but this is my prediction. I see the entire cast for the recent Jackass movie coming out to WrestleMania and just beating up Sami Zayn with chairs or fists or whatever, a rocket they might have, and then that lets Johnny Knoxville go up to the top rope and hit a elbow drop or something and getting the win and putting Sami Zayn in under the mud.
I could see something like that happen. That's the only way they're going to let. That's the only way they're going to let Zayn lose because they're not going to bury him.
No, they're not going to have Johnny Knoxville beat him clean. Like they're not going to have him just hit him with a suplex and pin him 1-2.
Well, fans would go nuts.
Oh, absolutely, they would. Absolutely.
So for the moment, I'm going to go with Johnny Knoxville getting the win. Like I said, because it is anything goes.
You're going to get Sami Zayn. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to see some wackiness.
I will say this. I do think it'll be entertaining.
I think so, too. I don't think it's going to be just the worst. I said that the worst match, that's reserved for the Logan Paul match on night 1 that we spoke about.
Yeah, that's absolutely going to be the worst. No doubt.
That might, that's going to be rough. All right, let's keep it moving here. We have a triple threat tag team match for the Raw Tag Team Championships. We have the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus the champs, RK Bro. We're getting new champs, or are Randy and Riddle retaining? Jay?
I'm going to say Riddle. I'm going to say Riddle wins this one.
Riddle retains? Okay.
Who's he teamed up with again?
Randy Orton. They're current champs.
Yeah, I've got Riddle and Orton winning that one all day.
All right. Chris? We getting new champs?
Nope. RK Bro is going to win. They're too hot. They can't take the titles off them this quick.
I beg to differ right now because I want to see Randy Orton give him a nice punt kick and an RKO at WrestleMania. Turn and heel one more time.
That would be cool too.
And as for the winners, I'll go. I don't know. I know Alpha Academy just had it, so I'll go Street Profits.
If they do what you said, if they do what you think they're going to do, I'll say they'll go back to Alpha Academy.
I'll go with the wild card. I'll go with the Street Profits because why not? I'm sure they've held it, but they've had it in a while, so I'll go Street Profits getting the win. Okay, 3 more matches left on the card. We have Pat McAfee, former Indianapolis Colts punter, versus Austin Theory in a one-on-one match, just straight up. So who's going to win this one? Jay McLovin.
Ain't no way I'm going against Austin Theory.
Okay.
I got Austin Theory taking that one.
Now, Chris, you might be a little biased because this is your team's former punter. So who's winning this one?
Not only that, I'm a big McAfee fan. I watch his show and shit a lot. But I actually think this is going to be one that's going to end in like a disqualification or a count out or something. They're going to build up another match.
Really? Okay.
Or what I really think, I think Vince McMahon's going to come out and get involved in this match somehow.
Ooh. Yeah, because McMahon and Theory are
together,
kind of.
Theory are kind of together, and McMahon went to McAfee's show to offer him this match.
That's true.
So either McMahon could turn on Theory, or I think something's going to happen with Vince McMahon during this match. But I think it's going to probably end by disqualification or count out, so they can build up another match.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I like both these guys, so it is a little bit of a tug of war with my heart. But I'll go Austin Theory getting the win at WrestleMania, and so, I mean, he doesn't need to lose this match. I don't know what they would do with him next, but I mean, Pat McAfee is a commentator at the end of the day.
Yeah,
absolutely.
He doesn't need to lose.
A clean win.
He doesn't need to win clean against a guy who they're building up as, the next big thing. So,
but
I think it'll be a good match though. On all because McAfee is
because
super
Pat's
talented.
good in the ring. He's pretty good in the ring.
Yeah, he's athletic. All right, the next match we have AJ Styles versus Edge in what should be a really good match. Chris, who you going with that one? Is Edge the bad guy or the seasoned veteran? Well, I mean, they both are, but AJ Styles from Georgia.
It sucks because I like both these guys. But
I feel you.
I'm gonna go with Edge.
Okay, Jay.
Yeah,
who you going with?
That's it. He's going with exactly the way I went. I went Edge as well.
Yeah, I like Edge. I like AJ because he is.
I just like Edge,
but I like Edge. I'm a big Edge person, so I would go with Edge. We're all in agreement. All right, and finally, the big match, the last one on the card.
Woo!
Winner takes all for both the WWE and the Universal Championship. We have Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. So who will win this anything where winner takes all? Who's going to be the true number one in the WWE after this? Chris, I will let you go first because this is a tough one.
Oh man,
I'm about to say. I mean, they've been building this up for months, and it's still hard to figure out who's going to win.
I think Reigns has to win because I mean he's the younger guy. You think he's going to be the one they're going to want to keep building. Where Brock
can come back in 6 months and do this again.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Reigns.
I will also go with Roman Reigns only because, first off, who's going to face him next? To be honest, because there is no one who I can think off the top of my head that can be either of these guys. So that's an issue for another day. So I'll go with Roman Reigns getting the win and continuing his just absolute dominance over everybody. All right, Jay, who you got? Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that this is the whatever for Reigns. Reigns is going to get it back again, and I think Reigns is the future of the WWE in that category. But I do think that the WWE is going to want to spark some interest. I think they're going to look. Roman Reigns has had it for a long period of time.
That's
I
true.
think like 600, 500 something days, 600 something days. I mean, he's had it for a hot minute.
He hasn't been pinned in like 2 years either. So
exactly. So if the WWE continues to go with Roman Reigns, it could make it very stale and start to make the WWE become predictable.
What do you mean? They're already doing that, Jay. I get you're new to all this, but they've been doing it.
No. What I'm saying is if they give the victory to Roman Reigns, it's not going to generate excitement. It's not going to generate the plot line. It's going to continue to be the same basic BS.
I could see.
So in this case, I'm going with Brock Lesnar. Because at some point they had to build up his storyline too, and I think Brock would be the perfect guy to basically put a little bit of controversy in there, spice up the WrestleMania, if you will, and then get ready for WrestleMania 39 where these guys have a grueling rematch, and then maybe Reigns takes it back. But I think there needs to be something to change what's going on for 2 years and has the same old. I think we need to change. Brock Lesnar takes it.
Oh boy, yeah, Jay. This match been also this is not the first time they've ever faced off. This is like the third WrestleMania they've been at. So it does kind of kill some of the aura. But
you think Paul Heyman makes another turn in this one like he did at the Rumble?
Say,
but okay, again, now listen, again, for those of us out there in Universal or land or unscripted land that have, maybe we don't watch as much WrestleMania as the experts do, and I'm going to be one of those kind of guys that I'm learning. How many times has Roman Reigns beat Brock the whole time, or has Brock beaten Roman?
I can check. Let me see. Hold on. Match history.
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, okay, so off of this random just website I found here, Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns have had 7 total matches against each other. 4 singles matches, 2 triple threats, and a 1 fatal 4-way match. Currently, in the 7 matches, they're tied 3-3. So the first match was in 2015. Brock was champion. Let's see. But okay, so the first one they ever had was in 2015. Brock versus Roman. Brock was champ. That's when Seth Rollins came out and won the championship with his Money in the Bank contract. 2016 was a triple threat match with Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Lesnar for a number one contendership match. That one went to Roman Reigns because he pinned Dean Ambrose. We got a fatal four-way match, SummerSlam in 2017. Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman, Lesnar, who was the champ, and Roman Reigns. That one went down to Brock Lesnar, who pinned Roman Reigns.
Oh.
So that was a couple of years ago, that 2017. Then 2018 at WrestleMania 34, Brock Lesnar was the champion going up against Roman Reigns. And that one, let me see. Lesnar beat Reigns there. 2018, the Greatest Royal Rumble, which was a steel cage match for the Universal Championship in which Brock Lesnar was the champion and Brock won. 2018, it was Lesnar and Reigns once again. Lesnar was champ. Roman won this time. 2021, so last year, Roman was champ going up against Lesnar, and Roman got the win after the Usos interfered. And then this upcoming match where they are both champions. So it's been back and forth. Lesnar won the early parts of it. Reigns in recent years. The majority of these has been Lesnar holding the title. So we'll see how it goes. Also, Damon Hernandez, you might be late, but hey, we're glad you made it.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, he's like, yeah,
good
Brock
to see you,
did win most
Damien.
of them.
A little late, but it was good to see you, brother.
All right, Jay, what's up next?
Yes, sir. What is up next? Up next is WrestleMania. No, we already did. Did we do? We already did night two predictions.
Oh yeah, I forgot to change the thing. So we're talking about the Hall of Fame.
I believe this is our final topic. Are the Clippers a sleeper team with Paul George back?
Wait. Hold on, Jay. Go back. We got to talk about the Hall of Fame.
Oh, dadgummit. No, you're right. I'm sorry. You had predictions supposed to be Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but the picture changed, but the name did. So just a quick rundown. You guys can give your thoughts. We got The Undertaker, who's the main event. Vader, Queen Sharmell, Booker T's actual wife and manager, and the Steiner brothers, who Rick and Scott both going in, and the Warrior Award is going to Shad Gaspard. Chris, I'll let you give your thoughts on all of these. Everyone going in the Hall of Fame this tomorrow night, Friday night.
I think it's going to be a good Hall of Fame. I kind of wish they would have this year with the Undertaker going in, maybe not done as many other people because the Undertaker is going to overshadow everybody that's on that list.
Oh yeah.
So honestly, you'd almost been better to do the Undertaker, but that was the only person that got in this year, and then let everybody in next year. Because most of these, I mean, the Steiner brothers to me is a big deal getting in, but compared to the Undertaker,
could have waited maybe, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't think them guys are going to get as much recognition as they would if it wasn't on the same time as the Undertaker.
Right.
But I'm glad the Steiner brothers are finally getting in because they would have been in before if it wasn't for some differences that they've been battling out over. Not sure the whole story behind it, but I know there's been some problems there. I'm kind of surprised that Sharmel's just now getting in. I figured she would have got in sooner just because most of her work was with WCW. She didn't do as much in WWE as she did back with Harlem Heat. I do like who they're giving the Warrior Award to. If you don't know Gaspard's story, you need to go read that story. It's a pretty heart-wrenching story, but they're giving an award like that to the right guy.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh, let me list the inductees. Who's going to be inducting them? So Vince McMahon is inducting The Undertaker, rightfully so. Mick Foley is inducting Vader. Nice to see Mick Foley. Booker T is inducting Sharmell. Not a surprise there. And then for the Steiners, it's to be determined. I would assume it's going to be Braun Breaker since, they are family.
Right.
So, Jay, what do you think about the Hall of Fame class this year?
Man, it's a good class. I mean, I only know a little bit about Vader, so he's one of them ones I don't know as much about. With the Steiners, I know about the Steiners, and and obviously I know about the Undertaker and Vince McMahon taking in the Undertaker. I mean, those guys have been loyal. I mean, Undertaker's been loyal to his character, been loyal to the WWE. So what better person, especially who has basically sculpted his career, honestly. Vince McMahon has chosen the matches, chosen the wins. So he's basically written out the Undertaker storyline for the most part. So to have him basically put him in is amazing. And the Steiners, to have that be a family affair, I don't think you can go any wrong there either. Like I said, I don't know much about Vader, but if you have Mick Foley as your presenter, how can you go wrong?
Good point. Yeah, it's going to be a good class. Like I said, I think also Damien said Undertaker is past overdue to be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, you got a good point, yeah, but I mean, also he didn't stop wrestling until like last year. So, I mean, I feel like Undertaker should have retired 5 years ago, but I mean, hey, you want to keep it going, but now he's going to go into the Hall of Fame. That's going to be a good speech. It's going to be weird to see because you've never really seen Undertaker probably act like himself.
I was going to say, you've never really seen him out of character.
No, not until he's been retired, really. Yeah. Like I said, happy that Shad's getting the Warrior Award, like Chris said. Look up that story if you haven't. It's a crazy story, but like I said, the right person won that award. Queen Charmel, like I said, I mean, she didn't really wrestle. She's more of a manager, but I mean, you always got, they always like throw a manager in there, so happy for her. Vader, wish he could have been there to be inducted, man. Unfortunately, he passed away a couple of years ago. But what a what a career he had. One of the best big guys ever. And finally for the Steiners, my God, we're getting Scott Steiner with a live mic. That's going to be amazing. So that's going to be fun. And Jay, we're going to show you some promos on Saturday of Scott Steiner to get you hyped up because he is a trip.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that one, actually.
No doubt. All right, Jay, why don't you unmute yourself? We can do our, I believe, final topic.
Yeah, absolutely. Final topic as we look at it. Paul George. Is he making the Clippers a sleeper team? Now, I like Paul George. And if you looked at last year, if you remember last year in the playoffs, they lost Kawhi. Paul George had to pick up the slack, and they did the best they could. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't enough. And they did make some additions. They brought in some, a couple of key guys, but the key guys they brought in will not change the outcome of what's going to happen. So what I'm saying is this. This is the way I look at it. Paul George is going to make the Clippers a good team. Probably, I would say even on par with the Utah Jazz. That's about where I rank them right now with Paul George. But without your boy, without your man, without the creme de la creme, without Kawhi Leonard, you are not, I repeat, you are not going to go far. You may make it past the first round, but you will not make it past the second round. So, no, it will not make them a sleeper team. It will make them a good playoff team. It will make them a competitive playoff team, but it will not make them a sleeper team. I'm sorry. It's just they just don't have the it factor to go that far, guys. Gonzo, your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go very far. Paul George did come back last night and played a heck of a game in his first game back. But how much stamina is he going to have going through the rest of the season? Because with the injury, how much was he allowed to do to stay in shape?
Right. And
is he going to turn into playoff P? Because we've seen him in the playoffs. He don't have a good history in the playoffs either as well. So, and this year I think even more the load will be on him. So I don't think him coming back this year improves what they would have done anyway. If they do make the playoffs, I don't see him making it out of the first round.
Yeah, currently they're lined up to go at the moment. They're the 8 seed. They're currently going against the Phoenix Suns, who I mentioned earlier, best record in the league. They're just going to probably plow through everyone in this playoff. I could see maybe if Paul George continues to have a good run of success between now and the end of the season, right, if he still remains hot, they could maybe go 5-6 games, but I do see them falling in the first round because without Kawhi Leonard, it's just going to be even tougher. But they do have a young core, though. They do have a good team, and maybe this next year, once you get them both back healthy, and you can maybe add to that team, they could do some more damage next year in the Western Conference. But yeah, this year I don't see it happening. Also, Damien said, I hope they see the Clippers to be a sleeper team just to see Freddie's reaction.
Just say a prayer in your head to eat.
I was about to say, hey, at least the Clippers are in the playoffs. I mean, the Lakers are.
I was going to say you have to give Ty Lue some credit because many injuries as the Clippers have had this year, and for them to still be in the playoffs is pretty amazing.
It's phenomenal, no doubt about it. And that just kind of shows you the testament of this Clippers team and Ty Lue and what Ty Lue puts into this team. I think they're just not going to have enough firepower to be able to contend.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm with you, but we'll see what the Clips can do.
Okay, let's go real quick. Let's have a quick meeting for the folks out there. Logan, I know you said 7:00 is the time for both nights especially kickoff for both WrestleMania nights is at 7:00 Eastern. So do we want to? We still need to do our final predictions. So do we want to do 6:00 log on time or 6:30 log on time to give our predictions out?
Let's meet in the middle. Let's do 6:15.
Okay.
Because it won't take too long, I don't think, with for the first night. Because like I said, all of us already went through it. We can give our final predictions real quick.
Right.
We'll see what Frankie has to say. We'll see what other guests we got on have to say. But I think 6:15, get our predictions in, and just talk about whatever. And like I said, because I don't know if there's have they announced any kickoff show matches, Chris? Because
I'm not sure, but I figure
they might
usually
move.
do.
They might move one of the matches that we listed, Jay, from night 1 or night 2 onto the kickoff.
Okay.
So, like I said, we're not sure yet. SmackDown is tomorrow, so they might add something there. But we'll, like I said, we'll let you know. But I think 6:15 will be plenty of time. We can all log on. We'll be live only on our Unscripted page, by the way, because Jay and Frank are going to go crazy. So. We don't want that to represent ASAP, unfortunately. So we're going to be only live on Unscripted, spewing anything and everything. And this is kind of the one night of the year, Chris, where there are no rules and everyone can say whatever they want to say. Tonight. You can say anything you want without any repercussions, and I will leave it at that. Also, Damien, yes, we are doing a watch along for both nights on Saturday and Sunday. So I think 6:15 is a good time for both of us to start for both nights. And we can give our final predictions and just give our thoughts and whatever. And it's going to be fun. So, 6:15, come join us at Unscripted on Facebook. And it's going to be a real good show. And also, I'm not going to say what it is, but on Saturday, night 1, I have a surprise in store for Jay, for Chris, and for Frankie, and myself. So it's going to be good.
Now, real quick, hey, listen, if you guys are doing YouTube, like Damien, I know you do a lot of YouTube. For this one, you're going to have to go to Facebook. Yeah, it's going to be all on Facebook. So it's going to be Facebook Live, and you can find it on Unscripted. So if you guys have not liked the Facebook page, I recommend you go and you like and follow the Facebook page for Unscripted, and you'll find it there easily. But, it's going to be on the Unscripted Facebook page. Having said that, Gonzo. No, go ahead. Did you have something else, Logan?
No, I was just going to say it's going to be a fun time, and I'm looking forward to it, fellas.
Oh, hell yeah, it's going to be a freaking phenomenal night. And I'm going to get into why it's going to be a phenomenal night. And just 1 second before we take off out of here, Gonzo, I just want to make sure. So you're doing the stand and deliver on Saturday mornings at noon?
Yes, the stand and deliver starts at noon. We'll go live at 11:30.
Perfect.
Okay, so and is the stand and deliver, is that just Saturday only?
Yes.
Okay, so there you go, folks. You have Gonzo stand in the room, stand and deliver, NXT stand and deliver Saturday noon Eastern, and then you have also followed by Unscripted at 6:15 Saturday and 6:15 Sunday for both nights, Saturday and Sunday. Final thoughts, guys. Gonzo, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
I have one more thing. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a live watch along for SmackDown and for the Hall of Fame as well.
Nice.
On my channels. We might start for the SmackDown starts at 8. I'm going to try to start at 8, but I might not be able to start to like 8:30 because I gotta go to this pizza parlor here in town. I'm going live there for a couple hours for a fundraiser for a high school wrestling team.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to air live from this pizza place during this fundraiser. They're giving the portion of everything, all the sales they have to do during that time to the wrestling teams. I'm going to go help promote it. But when I get back tomorrow night, we are going to be live on the Gonzo Sports Room channels for SmackDown and the Hall of Fame. If you guys would want to join, let me know and I'll send you the link. But if not, just to let the listeners know.
Yeah, send me the link. Just shoot me the link. I'm sure I'll probably join. Shoot me the link, Gonzo. Real quick, last thing, Gonzo. I know you got the sports room, or you got the show on Friday with them, and then you also have your show on Saturday. That's pretty much the way you're doing that, correct?
Yep.
Okay, Logan, you got any final thoughts, brother?
Yeah, no, final thoughts, man. Like I said, me and Jay are gonna rest up for tomorrow. Check out Chris; he's got some good stuff going on tomorrow night. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun show, man. I'm looking forward to it. And also, Damian Hernandez, I'm about to post the Facebook page link right now in the comments on YouTube. So I just put it in there. You can click on that or copy it or whatever. And so go over there and like our page over there.
Real quick, Gonzo, before we get out of here, you had one more plug. I know you're not thinking about it now, but I'm going to think about it anyway for you. You have a sports betting page getting ready to come out on ASAP, correct?
Yes.
What date does that debut on, sir?
It's going to debut Monday, and it's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern time on the Gonzo Sports Room Network and on all the ASAP sports channels.
There you go.
All right, folks. So to get out of here, I'm going to recap everything that's going on. If you have not gone to Gonzo's Sports Room page and liked it and followed it, you may want to go do that because he's got a lot of things, as you hear, coming out. And also a lot of things he's debuting on the ASAP network, especially his betting sports page, which I will tell you right now, Gonzo is really good with the sports betting picks. As a matter of fact, I made about $500,000. I'm kidding. I have not made anything because my wife will not let me bet. Yet. But if I can ever convince her to let me bet, I might make some money. But no, hey, listen, Gonzo Sports Room, go like that page, man. There's a lot of good content that he's putting out. And he, like I said, he's got his show Friday night for the SmackDown. And then Saturday, he's got his 12 o'clock Eastern time, Gonzo Sports Room, for the Stand and Deliver NXT. And then, of course, Gonzo will be with us on Unscripted April 2nd and April 3rd, yep. 6:15 start time for WrestleMania. You do not want to miss any of this content. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Go to Unscripted, like our page on Unscripted, and you will find us there come Saturday and Sunday. Until next time, which will be Saturday, folks, it's your boy, Jay McLovin, with our special guest and our now family member, Gonzo. And as always, our faithful founding member, Logan Landers. Until next time, guys, this is Unscripted, man. It's nice talking to you guys. We are done.
That was the time to shine, Jay.
Hold on. Not yet. Don't say this yet.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're out in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the